I love talking to real estate agents just straight out of real estate school because I can remember so clearly when I first got out of real estate school. Yeah, I mean, it was a great course. I learned about English law and all kinds of meets and bounds and townships and all of the important, obscure things that we need to know about real estate. But in reality, it doesn't really teach us how to sell real estate. It just teaches us how to pass the test. So here it is, day one, you walk into your office, you're sitting at your desk, there's a phone, you're thinking like, what do I do now? Well, it's even more complicated than that. And that is why I always recommend that you find a strong mentor or get into a brokerage that has a very, very strong training program. You do not want to tackle this business on your own. I was just talking to this commercial agent just recently, not even a commercial agent, a part-timer, a dabbler in real estate. And this person was in the midst of a $6 million commercial deal and did not want to share with their mentor. And I thought, how ridiculous. They have no idea what they're doing. They're setting themselves up for all kinds of liability. They're not even willing to invest in their career to learn it properly. And they're only focused on earning a commission. This is so short-sighted. You have to pay to play. Everyone starts in the mailroom. You just don't arrive in the C-suite. Absolutely not. So even though you pass the test, that doesn't make you qualified to sell real estate. And that is why you have to join a brokerage with a good training program or make sure that you're on a team or that you have a really strong mentor. You have to understand contracts. You have to understand property values. You have to understand zoning and laws and trends and things that are happening within those communities. You have to know how everything affects that property. You have to be very understanding on disclosures, what is required during a transaction, how to protect a buyer, how to protect a seller. These things we do not learn in real estate school. Then there's the whole emotional roller coaster of a transaction and being confident and trustworthy and having your clients rely on what you're telling them. This cannot be learned except through experience. I was very fortunate. I had my father and my brother guiding me along the way. They were my mentors. They would share with me what could happen, what might not happen. They helped me see around corners that I didn't even know there were corners. These were very, very valuable insights I got from both my brother and my father. This is what you'll gain from working with a mentor and what you'll gain from working with a really strong brokerage that has a strong training program. You can't figure this out on your own. You should not be learning on your client's time, on your client's money. That is not the way to approach this business. Very short-sighted. Real estate is one of the most complicated transactions, period. That's why realtors have such a solid and important role in every transaction. That's why all realtors are not equal. That is why some realtors are worth more than others, because their experience, their value, their insights, this comes from experience, from doing thousands of deals, hundreds of deals, 50 deals, not fresh out of real estate school and now you're thrust into a transaction. Would you want a doctor working on you that never worked on a patient before? No way. It's the same in real estate. In this video, I will share the real-world lessons that will actually make or break your career. Remember, trust, reputation is extremely important in this business. One deal gone wrong could destroy your career, could destroy your reputation, and that isn't worth any commission. If you have to work for free your first 3 deals, but you learn the business correctly, that's the way to go. Real estate is not a sales business, maybe not even a housing business, really. You're not just selling homes, you're selling yourself, you're selling your experience, you're creating trust. You are a trustworthy individual that people want to work with. Real estate school doesn't teach you how to be an entrepreneur, how to build a business, how to create leads, generate leads, or even close leads. Real estate school teaches us none of those things. Your success completely depends upon your ability to find business and then to close transactions. I always love to tell new agents this. You can give the greatest advice in the world. You could be the smartest person on the planet, but nobody pays you for that. They only pay you when the deal closes. So you have to find the deal first, and then you have to actually close the transaction. And that's when the commissions are paid. We talk a lot in the business about scripts, communication, neuro-linguistic programming, negotiation skills, and these are extremely important. When you're representing a seller or a buyer, you're their advocate, and you have to be an expert in all of these areas to achieve the highest and best results for your clients. Being a great negotiator, knowing how to create FOMO on the other end of the deal, are worried about losing out if your client doesn't sell to them or your buyer doesn't buy to them, is a secret. It's a skill. It's a communication. There's strategy in that. And that's how you win for your clients. Scripts, communication, negotiation skills, they are real currency. Here's another thing. Nobody hands you leads. Nobody. So many agents join teams to get leads, and what they're missing is the team leader's hiring you to bring them leads, and then you can use their name to help close the deals. See, the power is in the lead. If I have a lead, I can literally offer it to the top agent on this planet and say, hey, here's a lead, split it with me 50-50, you do all the work, and I'll help out in negotiations, things like that. There's nobody that's gonna turn me down, because if it's a good lead, everybody wants in. Lead generation is 100% your job. If you can generate leads and find buyers and sellers, you will be a success. Everybody will want to work with you. Other agents, clients, buyers, sellers, everybody, you will be in the power seat. Having a system, having some discipline, having a schedule around lead generation is the key. And everybody does it differently. Some people door knock. Some people cold call. Some people do it through massive marketing. Some people are social media influencers. Some people just walk around town meeting people, talking real estate. But they're always, always looking for opportunities. They're always looking for a buyer, always looking for a seller, and they're doing it in a very uninvasive way. That is the skill set that can never be taught to you in real estate school. On top of that, you have to be your own motivator. You have to manage your own mindset. You have to make sure you're getting up every day at the crack of dawn and working until night. You're a business owner. You're an entrepreneur. You're not, clocking in and clocking out. Nobody's paying you a paycheck. You're the breadwinner. You are responsible for everything, even your own P&L, your finances, your bookkeeping. You're responsible for your business plan. You're responsible for your business model. You're responsible for building your brand. You're responsible for marketing. You are an entrepreneur. You are a business. Every real estate agent on the planet is a business. Whether it's a successful business or a failing business is entirely up to you. You're in charge. You're the boss. You're the employer, and you're also the employee. You're the psychologist, you're the therapist, you're the negotiator, you are everything. You have to run the show. Now, that being said, as your business grows, you can get help. You can hire bookkeepers, like accountants. You can hire admin people, marketing people to help you. But in the beginning, it all falls on you. It all rests on your shoulders. Market knowledge is probably the most important part of your skill set. Experienced agents have the advantage and luxury of having been in the market for a long time. So they know all the sales, they know why the property sold, who bought them, who sold them, was it a good deal, a bad deal, they know the trends, they know everything about the marketplace. So when a client says, hey Peter, did you hear about that sale? I go, oh yeah, Bobby Jones bought it. He actually got a great deal because the sellers needed to move quickly, they had a job transfer, and so he got a terrific deal. And you see, that kind of insight and that kind of knowledge is what hooks people and what builds trust, because they don't have to worry that you are unaware of the market. On the other hand, if I say something like, oh, I don't know, let me get back to you, I'm being honest, but wow, you got to get back to me? You don't even know? This is your business, isn't it? So this is an extremely important part of your business. So as a newer agent, you've got to treat market inventory like a Harvard master's project. You've got to go 5 years back. You have to go current. You have to study actives. You have to study the pendings. You have to study the closed escrows. And you have to call brokers and get the nuance and the details behind every deal. Is it going to make you money right away? No. But you need that knowledge base. And if you're not willing to invest that time and that much work into building that knowledge base, you're probably not cut out for this business, because the product is real estate. And real estate, you must know like the back of your hand. You cannot say, I'll get back to you, or I don't know about it. It will make you look incompetent. But to be willing to invest that much energy into product knowledge, even without a client for any of those properties, even knowing that you're not going to make any money immediately, you have to have the right mindset. You have to have the mindset of, I will do whatever it takes to be successful in this business. That's why I say mindset is maybe even greater than market knowledge. Mindset as a topic is really important because we take a lot of gut punches. We have to pick ourselves off the map more often than people realize. Everyone thinks we just, drive around in Mercedes-Benzes and go to the bank and deposit checks and live in big fat homes and celebrate these great lives. But if they only knew that we maybe make a deal out of 2 out of maybe 30 clients that we actually engage with, or that we get something in escrow, we're all ready to pay our bills and to move forward in our lives, and then the buyer or seller decide to cancel. You have no idea how hard it is as a real estate agent. And that's why mindset is so key and critical to keep you going through these tough times. I mean, let's face it, deals fall apart, clients ghost you, maybe the market tanks or something happens in the economy. There's natural disasters like fires, there's tornadoes, there's hurricanes, all kinds of things that affect our business. So it's no slam dunk, it's no walk in the park. Your ability to bounce back emotionally is so key and critical. I like quoting the famous Barbara Corcoran that said, top producers, they not only bounce back, they bounce back with a vengeance because they have something to prove to the world. And that's the type of bounce back ability everyone in real estate needs to have. And finally, manage your energy, not just your calendar. Heck, just getting ready for these videos today that I'm going to shoot, I wanted to cancel, but nope, here I am doing it anyways. And that's because I realize how important it is to keep going, to keep your energy at peak levels, and to always do what you say you're going to do. Another very important thing for you to consider is that, and we see this all the time, is that clients don't always choose the smartest, even the agent with the best track record, but they always choose the agent that's the most trustworthy. It's not about being the best. I mean, I can't even say that because it's very important to be the best, but you have to be trustworthy and you have to be likable. And above all, I love emotional intelligence. I like really smart people, but if they're emotional dummies and their emotional IQ is low, it's just not gonna fly. People with high emotional intelligence, in my opinion, trump people with high intellectual intelligence every day of the week. Clients, at the end of the day, remember how you made them feel. They remember the experience more than anything else. Trust me, it has nothing to do with the stats you quoted or the information you gave them. It's more about how you delivered it, with what kind of confidence. Were you trustworthy? Did they like you? Would they refer you to one of their friends?